What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video, where today we're going to be having a look at 5 Florian Wirtz alternatives that Manchester City could target ahead of the summer transfer window. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. Remember, daily Manchester City transfer updates here on YouTube from June 1st. Make a note in your calendars, so don't forget to subscribe. It is free. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming for 500 likes, and don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below, including which player you would like Manchester City to target now we know that Man City are no longer in for Florian Wirtz. So a bit of context before we have a look at the players. We've seen in the last 24 hours Manchester City withdraw their interest in Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. Manchester City have been expressing a lot of interest in Florian Wirtz. Man City have apparently flown Florian Wirtz over to England and sat down and had discussions not just with the player but also with his father and his entourage to have a look at how feasible a transfer is. Right now we're seeing Liverpool getting strong links with Florian Wirtz, but it is looking like Bayern Munich are going to be the team that are going to sign Florian Wirtz instead, and Man City, through their other sources, including that of Jack Gorhan, Fabrizio Romano, the BBC, all saying the same thing, which is Man City have withdrawn from the race to sign Florian Wirtz due to how expensive the deal would be, and various other reports have been coming in saying that Florian Wirtz has chosen Bayern Munich and chosen to reject Manchester City, and I've seen a few comments flickering around, and just wanted to put a bit of clarity on that, in terms of the Florian Wirtz situation, whether it be he's rejected Man City or Man City have withdrawn from the race, it doesn't really matter which direction we look at it. It all equals us going down the same path, which is Florian Wirtz not joining Manchester City, which is why we're now going to have a look at other players that City could look at instead. So the first player I want to speak about is Rayan Cherki, the 21-year-old attacker from Lyon. He's French. Plenty of interest in him from Spurs and other Premier League teams. City's name has been put out there. Other teams from across Europe also extremely interested in Cherki as well. Having a real good season, 30 appearances in Ligue 1 in France. He's got 19 goal contributions with 8 goals and 11 assists so far in the Ligue 1 season. He does have a release clause set very low, this, at various reports saying between 15 and 25 million pounds. Hence, we're getting so much interest in Cherki, including that from Manchester City, and he could well be a player that City look to try and add to their team as they look to try and find some good numbers when it comes to potentially signing a player who can play, obviously, as an attacker, but can also dip in and play behind the striker and help Man City to create some opportunities. So I think Cherki very much a player that should be on Man City's list. Do I think City will make a move for him? That remains to be seen with so much interest out there. I have my doubts about it, but certainly I think he should be a player that City do consider. Now, another player that's been heavily linked with City over the last 24 hours is Dani Olmo, the 26-year-old attacker from Barcelona. Plays for the Spanish national team. Quality player. Is a little bit injury prone, would probably cost top dollar as well, but apparently he's Pep Guardiola's dream. Now, he does have a €500 million release clause, which is £421 million in today's currency converter. Barcelona will not want to sell Dani Olmo, but they may be forced to do a little bit of business, including selling players, if they can't sort out their poor financial situation. Now, he would still be a very expensive transfer, but won't be as release clause expensive, and I can't see Man City really wanting to do business here with Barcelona to make a transfer happen. We're looking here at a player that's made 24 appearances in La Liga, 13 goal contributions with 9 goals and 4 assists. Does play very nicely behind the striker, and I think he would adapt to Pep Guardiola and Man City very nicely. I think he'd suit Man City's system really nicely as well. I just have some reservations about his price and also how injury prone he is. And I do feel like the ship has sailed for Man City making a move for Dani Olmo. If it was to come, it'd have probably come last summer when we had that release clause available when he was playing for RB Leipzig. City didn't go and make a move then. And I can't see City going to make a move now that it cost even more money. So I can't see that one happening, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, but it's out there, so he makes the list. Now, number 3, and the player that I think Man City will end up signing, is Morgan Gibbs-White, the 25-year-old attacking midfielder from Nottingham Forest, plays for the England national team, and also, crucially, homegrown. Man City needs some homegrown players with the likes of Calvin Phillips and Kyle Walker, maybe Jack Grealish leaving this summer. Homegrown talents are needed, and they need to bring in some top English players. And when it comes to central midfielders and players potentially replacing Kevin De Bruyne long term, Morgan Gibbs-White will be making that list for Man City. Now, what I like about Morgan Gibbs-White is he's not just a player that can play behind the striker and play in that number 10 role, which is what Fabrizio Romano has said. He thinks that City want to sign him to play him as the number 10 in their midfield, but he can also drop a little deeper, can also dip in and out, playing out wide. Quite versatile when it comes to his midfield positioning. He's got lots of good energy, likes to have a shot as well. A good player, a workhorse as far as I'm concerned. My only real reservation that I have about Morgan Gibbs-White is Nottingham Forest demanding £100 million, which Man City will need to negotiate. And I do think it's important to remember that if Nottingham Forest don't make the Champions League and Man City do, then I can see Morgan Gibbs-White being keen on this move, and with him having just 2 years left on his contract, doesn't really give Nottingham Forest too much room for negotiations, in particular if the player wants to transfer. I'm not going to go as far to say he'd be asking for a transfer away from Nottingham Forest, but with him having 2 years left and him not signing a new deal and Man City willing to pay some real good money to sign Morgan Gibbs-White, you'd think that this summer is a good year for that transfer to happen, especially with the World Cup happening next summer, which Morgan Gibbs-White will definitely want to be on that plane heading over to North America. So we will see what will happen with that. There's lots of little dependencies when it comes to this transfer, but he has made 33 appearances in the Premier League with 17 goal contributions, with 7 goals and 10 assists, Premier League proven as well. And I think if Man City can negotiate and get a good price for Morgan Gibbs-White, I'd be surprised if Man City didn't make that transfer happen. Now, moving on, I want to speak about Javi Simmons, the 22-year-old forward at RB Leipzig. He's Dutch, plays for the Netherlands national team, plays right across the attacking line, plays as an attacking midfielder, can play out wide as well, and a very versatile young quality player. Now, there is some debate about price, some saying that it could be available for £65 million this summer. Others are suggesting it could be closer to £100 million, looking at a deal worth £80 to £90 million. Of course, RB Leipzig made their deal permanent with Paris Saint-Germain in the January transfer window to make sure that Javi Simmons was their player and their player alone. Man City have done successful negotiations only a couple of summers back with Joško Vardiel, so we do have pretty good relations with RB Leipzig, and is a doable transfer if Man City want to pursue that. And for me, I'd really like Javi Simmons. I think he'd be a real good player to add to our team. In particular, if City choose not to make a move for Rodrigo from Real Madrid, and we're looking for a player here who can play behind the striker and can drift to the left and drift to the right, I think Javi Simmons would be a real good player. Now, he's made 25 appearances in the Bundesliga so far this season, 17 goal contributions with 10 goals and 7 assists. If you can get him for a good price, I think City should be all over Javi Simmons, but that is just me. Now, the fifth and final player I want to speak about is Alex Baena, the 23-year-old forward at Villarreal. He is Spanish, plays for the Spanish national team, plays as an attacker, has a release clause of €60 million. It's believed there is a bit of wiggle room when it comes to negotiations on that release clause as well. He's made 31 appearances in La Liga with 16 goal contributions, with 6 goals and 10 assists. The problem with this transfer is it looks like Alex Baena is set to make a move to Atletico Madrid for less than that €60 million release clause, which we are looking at just over £50 million. So I'd be surprised if Alex Baena doesn't end up anywhere else other than Atletico Madrid. But if he wasn't going there, I think he'd definitely be a player that City would be considering the news that we've had in the last 24 hours when it comes to Florian Wirtz, who will not be joining Manchester City this summer. So they're just 5 players that I wanted to have a look at. There's an abundance of players, so please let me know in the comments, if we're not signing Florian Wirtz, which is looking very much like we're not going to be doing, which player should we be targeting instead, and who do you want to see Man City sign when it comes to replacing Kevin De Bruyne long term, who leaves for free this summer upon the expiry of his Manchester City contract. Do let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. 500 likes is the aim. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. As I said, daily Manchester City transfer updates coming from June 1st for you guys to look forward to. So if you want to stay up to date here on YouTube every single day with all the latest City transfer news ahead of this huge, crucial summer transfer window, then make sure you have subscribed. It's free. Social media links there in the description as well if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to go and check out my email too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all real soon for the next one. I've got my live stream watch along with Man City's crucial Premier League game at home against Bournemouth today. Also the farewell to Kevin De Bruyne. So if you do want to come and join me for that and chat transfers and chat about general Man City stuff and everything, then do feel free to come and join me. The link out to my live stream watch along is already available on my channel if you want to go and set your reminders. And I'll see you all again real soon. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.